I asked you to take the picture of your dog down. It's ugly. I don't think this is my chair. Who stole my chair? Mark, I told her to take the picture of her dog down. She has it. It's distracting to me. Thank you. Hi.
Hey.
I hate to say this again, but I actually don't hate it that much. The way you're typing on the keyboard is extremely bothersome to me. Has to stop. No one wants to see March Madness right now. Stop changing my channel from The View.
Hi.
Who keeps buying the Cheeto Puffs? Stop buying the Cheeto Puffs. Carrier's broken. Oh my gosh. Shrimp. No more microwaving shrimp. Don't do it. What?
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Imagine being old. Imagine being a Karen. Combine them into one, old Karen. I'm gonna tell you about this old Karen that works at the company that rents out the same building that my company rents out. We share the same space, obviously, like the same building. We have different rooms though, but on the same level. We share a break room, right? So 12:20 comes around, I go in, enjoying my lunch. I'm like using the microwave, enjoying my soup. Not even 2 minutes after my first bite, the door opens. Karen peeks her head in. Hi, I just wanted to let you know that this man comes in here at 12:30 every single day and eats his lunch by himself. I was like, okay. I was shocked. Like, I was actually in shock. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm almost done. I wasn't almost done. I still had I'm a slow eater. I still had 30 minutes left of my meal. But this lady came in here and disturbed my lunch so I can get up and let her boss come in and take over the shared break room.
One of my favorite things about working in the food service industry is when people come up to you pissed off about something, right? And they say something like, you see this? Would you be happy if you received this? Would you be happy if this is how your food came out? Because I'm always just like, Susan, I don't give a fuck, okay? Like, just tell me you're not happy with it. Tell me what's wrong with it, and I'll go get you a new one, okay? But why do you have to sit there and ask me some hypothetical question like, what would you do if you were in that situation? Girl, I wouldn't be eating here, okay? You're the dumbass that came to a B-rate chain restaurant and ordered the ribeye steak thinking you were going to get some high-quality piece of cow like you're in some Vegas steakhouse, okay? What the hell did you think was gonna happen? Or better yet, when they say that their food is cold and they go, here, touch it, feel how cold it is. It's like, no, I'm not touching your fucking food that you just bit into, okay? For what reason would I have to not believe you? I don't need to shove my finger into your half-eaten burger to believe you that it's cold. I'll go get you a new one. Just calm down.
Every single person should experience customer service or hospitality work at some point in their lives in order to be going out into the real world, because I swear people are so entitled. Quote, the customer is always right is what's wrong with society. I had a lady that called today about a reservation that she booked in January that was now canceled because we didn't receive a deposit. And she calls checking in on it thinking she had it. We don't. We only had, I think we had other rooms, but not the rooms she booked. And the first thing she says when I tell her that we don't have her reservations anymore, and she's like, are you serious? I was never told about any of this. Mind you, we say everything about this. When we make the reservation and when we cancel them, we let them know that they're canceled. But no, she claims that she didn't get any of this and was never told that her room was canceled. Was never told that she had to pay her deposit on time. What do you think? Or we're just going to give you a free room? We go back and forth. I give her every possible solution that I can. I offer her some other rooms in other areas, but no, she needed the 2 rooms that she booked previously because they were a specific room type. I said, we don't have those. We just don't. There's no way. I can't kick people out of the rooms. And then she proceeds to tell me, well, you know what? You're not being very good customer service wise, and I don't think you're being creative enough. And you're not helping me find a solution, and I'm very disappointed with your service. I always freeze up sometimes here because this makes no sense. It's like, I just gave you all of the solutions and you're saying that there's no solutions. And this one hit me the most. She then goes on to say, well, I think that if I was there in front of the system, if I somehow was able to look at your system, I'd be able to find a way. I'm like, lady, no, you could not. There is no other way. you fucked up, you didn't pay your deposit, and that's it. There's no clever solution. This isn't my fault. This is your fault. And like, you can't take accountability for it. It's just crazy. But the amount of mental gymnastics that this lady and many more that I've talked to have to go through in order to not feel any ounce of accountability is crazy. And if people just worked at some point in their lives a hospitality or a service job, they would understand this and they wouldn't be such entitled Karens.
Okay, so I don't usually rant about my job. Let me step away. I put myself at lunch. I don't usually rant about my job, but today I got a motherfucking rant. Tell me how I get this patient, right? And mind you, my job is literally just to kind of like schedule delivery for people to get their medications. That is literally the whole shit. It's the whole thing. Okay, cool. So I call this lady. We already start off on the bad foot because I mispronounced her last name. Now I get it because as being African American and my name being Sheree, I get it. But at the same time, I'm not Italian and your last name is hella Italian. There are sounds that I would have to make in the back of my throat for me to say that properly. So I don't know what you want me to do. So she already has an attitude because she had talked to previous reps who did not, put things in motion the way they were supposed to put things in motion. So she had attitude about me saying her name wrong. She picked up the phone even though she obviously did not want the medication at the time because it was supposed to be put on hold. All right, cool. Whatever. Tell me how she gonna try to make, like, literally was trying to come for me and like, I don't understand why you can't comprehend what I'm saying. Excuse me, Karen. Excuse me, Karen, because that's what you're acting like, Karen. That has nothing to do with me, okay? I don't know what type of bad day you're having. I don't know if you're currently in a bad mood, whatever, but you're not going to take it out on me. Because at the end of the day, I am the gatekeeper to your motherfucking medication. So guess what? Say I fuck up, and I hit cancel on that motherfucker. You're going to have to call your doctor and get a whole new script sent in. I would never do that, but it's like, you don't realize that you're talking to someone you're trying to get something from them. You're trying to get something from my company. And so at the end of the day, be nice to your customer service rep. Like, just don't be rude, because there's 1,000,001 motherfucking ways that we could fuck your shit up, but we don't. So, and we're literally working here to pay our own bills so we can do our own shit. Like, at the end of the day, you wouldn't want somebody to come in your job and start literally berating you over something that had nothing to do with you. You ain't never talked to this person before in your life, so don't do it to other people. That's mad annoying. That messed up my whole vibe.
Karens can single-handedly ruin your day. This right here is just a perfect example. But as for me, I have yet to meet a real-life Karen. Never really met an annoying white lady like that who is just extremely miserable. As for me, I am hardly around people like that. If you have bad vibes, bad energy, you're not around me. I am a very happy person and I have really good vibes and really good energy. If you are near me and you're just draining and all that stuff, I get away from you. I get away from people like that real quick. I have no tolerance or patience for that.
Let me tell y'all, this lady just cussed me clean out, told me where to go and how to get there. Let me tell you something, I let her. When I tell you I have no capacity for people who are unhinged nowadays, even at work, it's just like, lady, I do not receive the energy that you are giving me right now. So she called in, I gave her my reading. Hello, my name is, thank you for calling in to so-and-so. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Oh, let me tell you right now, it's not going to be a pleasure to speak with me. And from then on, I knew what type of time we were on. And one thing that my previous work experience has taught me is that when people start going off like that, to shut the entire up and let them go. And that's what I just did. Let me tell you, I actually put this thing on mute. Because let me tell you, I have this physical reaction from being yelled at, it's a childhood thing, that I'll start shaking. So while she was yelling at me, I was shaking like this. Not because I was like scared of her, I was scared and terrified of me. I know me so well that I know that if I don't keep myself in check, all hell's going to break loose. She went on to tell me how she has spoken to my entire team, how she is so unhappy. We are so incompetent, how people are not taking her issues seriously, and blase split. And she started to tell me, you all can't listen. So what's going to happen today is that I'm going to talk, you're going to listen. When I say you can speak, then you will speak. Still, I'm silent. I'm just letting her go. She also told me that if I could not keep up, don't ask her to repeat herself because she's not. And I was just waiting for her to ask for a supervisor. I'm just like, I'm not about to deal with you. Like, who are you? Who do you actually think you are? Because if she would have asked when I would be like, excuse me for 2 seconds, let me just get you on over. But no, she wanted to rain hell on me. So this went on for about a good 5 minutes. I just let her go. When I tell you I let her go, I let her have a ball. It was so quiet that it was moments where I was so quiet that she had to check back in because she thought I was going to interrupt her because she kept saying, y'all keep interrupting me. I'm like, ma'am, you have the full stage right now. Go off, queen. So when she allowed me to speak and said, you have permission to speak now, I said, okay. First thing, I want to apologize that you've had this experience with us to where you feel so strongly about your concern. I said, but in order for me to help you, you're going to have a mutual respect from me and this entire situation for me to properly and accurately help you. She cut me off mid-sentence and said, save your effing bull. And I need help right now. I don't care about your theatrics and what you're saying to me right now. And I told her, I said, that's the thing. In order for me to help you properly, you're not going to tell me when I'm going to speak. If I have a question, I'm going to ask it. You're not going to limit me as if I'm a fucking child. Like, who do y'all really think y'all are to be calling a grown-ass person on this phone telling me when I can and cannot speak? Like, I understand. It's how I know that y'all really need friends in real life. Y'all need a therapist or whatever y'all need. Because the fact that you really thought that you was getting ready to call in and get some kind of results, that's how I know you really wasn't results-centered. You probably just wanted to call in the bitch and complain, and that's okay. But say that with your chest. Don't call in acting like you are God's gift to this green earth and that whatever you say is going to go. First of all, I could have disconnected this phone call the moment you started telling me what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. I could have then, but I decided to give you grace and I decided to lead with my good foot and not allow my past self to become my present self. I said, I'm going to give her a chance to redeem herself. I said, you know what? First, let me just tell you in a calm voice. I was so calm, I surprised me. I was so calm, I was scared of me. That's how calm I was. I told her, I said, for this to work, that's not going to happen. And that was her chance to fix it. So what I did was, as she's talking, I'm just documenting because I am not about to lose it over y'all. I'm not. Y'all not finna. I'm at home chilling. And that's why you really mad, because you can tell I'm at home. So I'm not about to allow you to project all that negativity onto me. So as soon as I said what I said about like it's going to be a mutual respect, and she's kind of saying be a bull ass this and bull ass that, you have 1, 2, 3 seconds to disconnect this phone call, or I will. You have 3 seconds to stop talking to me like you have lost your motherfucking mind, or I will disconnect this phone call. And look at God, she did it for me. That's how I know she just wanted some attention. So I emailed my supervisor like, listen, I just had a like crazy customer, gave her the case number, everything like that. But I'm just like, I just want y'all to have this in documentation because people would love to spin stuff and say that you were a certain kind of way. That's why I was going to come to you first, give you the case so you can go listen to how loony this Karen was on my fucking phone. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, who raised y'all? And she felt so justified because she felt like she had been through so many hula hoops that first off, there is no type of behavior in the world that's warranted because you feel like you're not being taken seriously. No, if you have to keep repeating yourself over and over again, keep on doing it until you shouldn't have to. I agree with that. However, you don't talk to no grown ass person thinking that you better get some results. I was, baby, especially not me.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
I hate people. Oh my god. This bitch comes in today and she's like red-faced. First of all, I don't know if she was already pissed or I don't know what was fucking going on with her. She might have been an Oompa Loompa, all I know. But anyway, she comes in and she's like, so I bought some ferns 2 weeks ago and they're on sale now, so like, can I get the sales price? And I'm like, no. And she's like, do you guys not do that anymore? And I'm like, I've worked here a year, we've never done that. And she's like, can you speak to a manager? I'm like, okay, Karen, sure, all right. So I get my manager, he comes over and he goes, what's the problem? And I told him, and he goes, okay. And he gives her $29 back for, I think she bought like 4 or 5 ferns. I'm like, are you actually shitting me? This bitch got $29 back because a sale happened within 90 days after she bought it. That's so stupid. Like, okay, maybe that's a thing and I'm just naive and I didn't know that. But if you miss a sale or you buy something before a sale, tough nuggets, bitch. Like, that's not, like, what? Why would you have that in your She's like, I know you matched prices. I'm like, well, you already bought it. Like, you literally, she had a card with her. She had a really bad attitude. And so when she leaves, I said something to my manager. I'm like, we do that? That seems so stupid to me. And he goes, I just didn't want to deal with her today. Like, I'm already in a bad mood. So many people have called off. I just wanted to give it to her. So it's not in the policy. We're not supposed to do it? Or, like, oh my God. I hate it. And then I don't understand why it's so hard for people to grasp the concept of, like, you're using a screen to do everything. And at the end of the screen use, it says, how do you want your receipt? Printed or both? Printed and emailed. And people just go and stare at it. And then they go, I'm not getting a receipt. Read. You've spent the last 2.5 minutes reading the screen. Why can you not read it now? Like, it's a little fucking picture too. It's like, the way to make you a bitter, depressed, sad, people-hating person is to work retail. My dear God. Oh my gosh. I just, like, and I know everybody who works retail deals with this. I know I'm not a rarity or anything like that. I just wanted to complain for a minute because I just honestly can't. And then, like, the people who come in and they're like, why is this not working, this gift card? And I'll, like, swipe it and I'll be like, there's no money on it. And they'll be like, no, there's the money on it. I've only used it once. I'm like, well, I guess you used all of it because there's no money on it. Can I speak to a manager? And you know what the manager's gonna say? And you know what the manager did say? There's no money on it, Deborah. Go the fuck home. Like, oh my God.
Let me tell you about another Karen that I just encountered and how you deal with them to, like, you know, make them feel like they just shut them down. So y'all know how I'm working in a deli with the food and all this. So I'm talking to a manager about a chicken that they got to take. This customer gonna walk in front of the hot bar and start looking at the food like she's, like, you know, like we in the way or something. She started looking at the food and then she started asking for the bone-in wings. And then she was like, that comes with a meal, right? Was she done this before? Because she knows. I told her, yeah. So with the meal, you know that comes with size. So I asked her, what size did you want? She started looking at the size and say, ew! Like, really loud in front of the managers and everybody. And I'm just looking at her like, my friend asking me how many sizes because they're about to print out the tag for me. And I'm just like, I don't even know yet. So I asked the lady again, what size did you want? She just looking around saying, ew! Like, she kept saying, ew, just like that. And I'm just like, bruh, if you don't want the food, I didn't even make no reactions. I didn't even make no response when she did it. I was just like, just looking at her, waiting for the answer. And she eventually told me, just give me the wedgies and give me some mac and cheese. And she making a little scrunched up face. I just gave her the tag and kept it moving. She ain't say nothing else after that. Like, you can't entertain them. If you don't entertain them, they just gonna go ahead about their business, but they ain't get the satisfaction that they wanted.
That is exactly how you deal with a Karen. Karens are always entitled and narcissistic. They always do stuff for validation and or attention. Ignore them, they get bored and they move on. That's what you do. Just ignore them, act like they are not there, and you just keep it pushing. That's it. They're looking for reactions.
So there's this girl, my FYP, and she was just talking about how TikTok affiliates, how they get so many, like, crazy comments on their comment section whenever they make a video. And it's like people blaming them for, like, oh, well, you can get it cheaper on Amazon. It's an ugly color. there's no free shipping. You should make it free shipping. And she's like, I literally cannot control the product. I'm just promoting, okay? And that just reminded me of the time I used to work at a grocery store, and the Karens that would come in the store, okay, they were just so entitled, right? They would get the sales paper and they would get everything on the list, right? One time we had I think it was grapes or something. It was grapes or chicken. I don't remember what it was, but I guess we ran out of it, right? And she walked up to me. Silence, okay? She had some business to attend to. Walked up to me, slammed that paper down, looked at me, looked at the paper, looked at me, looked at the paper. She's never said one word to me. She flips the paper down to where she was talking about. She went, looked up at me. I said, what? Yeah? She said, this is supposed to be on sale, but you don't have it in the store. I was like, maybe we sold out of it? She's like, no, I checked yesterday too. You guys aren't carrying this. I'm like, she said, you should not advertise a product if you're not going to put it in the store. Mad at me. And I'm like, listen, lady, I don't control what we put in the store, okay? People will get so mad at me because something wouldn't ring up right. And they yell at me. I'm like, I cannot control the price. I literally stand here and scan. That's all I do. Take your money. That's it. Drives me crazy. People just need to slow down, okay? Don't take it out on the cashier. Take it up with management.
So, a man made me cry today. Not for the reason that you think. So, I was helping a guest. He arrived on a canceled reservation. And so, I did all the back end work. I'm looking to see what went wrong. Found that it was already paid for, and so I'm like, okay, well, I asked to have it reinstated. And I go up to share this news with a guest, and he's just sitting there seething, and I'm like, hey, I'm working with the front desk. We're trying to get your reservation reinstated. Great news, right? Apparently he didn't think it was great news, because when we gave him exactly what he paid for the amount of time that he's supposed to be here, well, I want 2 bedrooms now. No. You paid for a 1-bedroom. I'm giving you a 1-bedroom for the amount of time that you're here. Well, I have friends coming. They need to have a room. No. I'm giving you exactly what you paid for. I'm reinstating your already existing canceled reservation, and we're reactivating it for you, even though we're at complete, pretty much 97% occupancy. Love to help you, and here we are helping you, doing exactly what we're supposed to do, so at least you have a place to stay. No. Not good enough. Proceeds to rip me a new one. Profanity everywhere. This is in the middle of a lobby. Other people walking around wondering what's going on. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to somebody better than you. Somebody above you. Okay. Continues to belittle me. Sir, I understand. You don't understand anything. You don't understand anything. I want to talk to somebody above you. You're nothing. Okay. I proceed to go down the stairwell, and I start crying. Not because of the things he said, but because it's not okay to murder people in the middle of a lobby. Unfortunately, it's not allowed at my workplace. That's why I was crying.
If you had a bad day at work, I need you to know that one time I was at a meeting with all of my coworkers and leadership staff and a tech trainer at my job. And my boss, who was maybe 35 years my senior, I was 24 at the time and 6 months pregnant, she was very openly and aggressively bullying me in front of all these people, humiliating me in front of all these people, if you will. And I was sensitive because I was a little bit pregnant. So I was like, you know what? Let me just excuse myself to go to the restroom. I'm preggies, you know how it is. I actually was going to go cry. However, did not have the opportunity because this woman proceeded to follow me into the restroom, meaning every single person in that meeting saw her make me upset, saw me excuse myself, and then saw her proceed to follow me into the restroom so that she could continue to bully me and harass me as a young woman 6 months pregnant in the bathroom. She was bullying me in the bathroom. So if you're ever having a bad day, just know it could be worse.
When I started my new job, they warned me about this creepo who likes to call the stores and like make people repeat dirty things back to him. And guess who called me yesterday? Okay, so I'm at cash just minding my business because somebody just came and gave me such a hard time. I'm like, I'm gonna take a second to decompress. So I'm sitting there minding my business. The phone's ringing. My coworker picks it up, and then she looks at me and she's like, I don't know what they're saying. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just take over. I'll try to see what they're saying. I get on the phone. This guy's like, hello. And I'm like, hey, how can I help you? Like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, sorry, I have a sore throat. Can you hear me? I'm like, yep, I can hear you fine. Like, what can I help you with today? He's like, is there a manager there? I'm like, no, there's not a manager, but I could get one for you if you'd like. He goes, no, that's okay. I could talk to you. I'm like, all right, sounds good. What was it you were, like, calling for today? He goes, is there a lot of people in the store right now? And I go, no. He's like, what time do you guys close at? So I already got a little hesitant on the phone, but I was like, oh, we close at 9 because that's public information. He could have looked it up and found it anyways. But I was already getting a little freaked out. And I didn't want to judge either because I was like, what if he literally does have a sore throat? He is just trying to come in and I'm just like being like rude about it. So I was like, oh, we close at 9, whatever. But in my head, I was like, is he gonna like shoot up our store? Like, why does he want to know how busy it is and like what time we close? Like, it just felt weird. So then I'm like, I'm still on the phone just waiting. He goes, okay, what's your name? And I was like, give me 1 second. I kept pretending I couldn't hear. I was like, sorry, what was that? And he's like, what's your name? And I was like, give me 1 second. I really can't hear you. I like put the phone on hold, whatever. I was like, okay, go get the manager and like find out what I can do. Anyways, my manager was like, you can just hang up when he calls because he literally just likes to call and like harass the workers. I was like, I'm so sick and tired of this. Why? After I literally just dealt with like a Karen for so long, I was like, of course I'd pick it up and it's like some guy trying to like harass us on the phone. Like, do you people have nothing better to do with your lives than sit there and just harass retail workers? I'm like, I do not get paid enough for this. Anyways, whatever. Time to go in for my shift for round 2.
Y'all ever get an email from somebody at work and you're like, who do you think you're talking to? If I was not at work, I would rip you a new one, but because I work in corporate, I have to be all like polite. And if it wasn't for Thanksgiving week, I would just find a way of saying something really rude. But this girl's trying me. Not today, honey. Not today.
You're either going to agree with me or agree with me. In every job, in general, there's always got to be that one miserable bitch. Just in general, I'm just talking. One miserable bitch or a real hard Karen in every job. Like sometimes it's just like, bitch, go back into your cave where you came from, where you're the most miserable in. Like I truly ask myself sometimes, what is it that makes you that miserable, that mean, that cunty, that bitchy? I would like to know, is life that hard on you? Like I say this all the time. Even if I go to a restaurant, even if I go to a fast food restaurant, anywhere, and I get bad customer service where somebody is like real bitchy and you're taking it out on me, I tell them, if you don't like your fucking job, then quit. No one is forcing you to be here. That is my question. And I've always asked it. Why are miserable people at jobs trying to bring down other people's peace, other people's happiness, other people's excitement? You know, like, I don't understand. If you can help me understand so I can get a little piece of understanding. Like, I don't want to hear that, oh, they're going through something at home. You don't know what they're going through at home, or you don't know if they're having a bad day. No, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about like an everyday basis type of thing. An everyday basis. But, you know, they're not going through nothing bad at home because they brag about what they have and they brag about, you know, having that good life. So if you have that good life, why are you acting like that? Why are you being so bitchy?
Why are you being so miserable? I love it because I put a smile on, I laugh in their face, and I'm just like, yeah, bitch. Like, karma is such a bitch. Karma exists. And that's what gives me a piece of peace inside of me. It gives me a piece of peace. So yeah, comment down below. Comment down below if you agree with me. There's always got to be that one Karen, where there's always got to be that one miserable babe in every job. I'm not saying one in general, or just in the world, in life.
So I got a new job, right? And I usually flip pages, but when my hand is a little too dry, I go like this on the first page. And then I start flipping the pages to revise certain paperwork and certain documents. But I got called out on it today by a Karen at my job saying that was unsanitary. And I want to know, is it bad to do that? Because I've always done it at every job I've gone to. I've seen bosses do it too. And I don't always do it. It's not like I do it and I do that to each page. No, it's like once in a big lifetime when I do it. But still, like, for those of you guys that work in offices and have to be flipping pages, like, do you guys take your time to put on the little rubber thumb thing and go like that to flip the pages? Because I don't want to do that, bitch. Like, I'm in a hurry. I'm trying to get shit done. Like to the Karen that called me out on it, like, girl, bye. Like, you act like I'm a walking germ. I'm a human being, and yeah, I have germs, bitch, but I ain't sick. Like, I wasn't coughing, like, in your face. Mind your own business. Like, what the fuck?
Here is the issue with Karens at work specifically. They always want to start something out of nothing. I actually heard a joke, right? And this guy changed his wife's name to Jumper Cables. You know why? It's because she's always trying to start something. This is exactly a Karen right here. They're always trying to start something out of nothing. And I thought that was just hilarious.
Update on my new job with the Karen that was complaining about me because I licked my finger to flip a damn page. Then she wanted to go tell HR, and HR didn't let her train me. And so then she put me with this crappy person that wasn't even training me right, was being a bitch. And then she comes up to me like 1 week later, week number 2, mind you, and she wants to time me on what I'm doing, expecting me to do things perfectly, expecting me to do things so fast, like finish up what I'm needing to finish in 30 minutes. When it's taking me an hour and a half because I never got the proper training. Like, put a finger down, because I'm putting all my fingers down right now, because I guess what I did after she did that shit to me. I walked out. I said, late. She just called me right now. I was like, oh, hi, I noticed that you walked out. I was like, look, I don't want to talk about it. You guys know what you guys were doing to me. You guys judged me on one thing that I did, which was lick my finger and literally just flip a page. If that's how you guys are with somebody on week number 2, I'd rather not work for you, and I'd rather go look somewhere else, because we ain't doing that shit. I'm not gonna be somewhere 8 hours a day, so y'all could be judging.
On today's episode of Stupid Shit People Say to Me at the Pharmacy, I bring you the Drive-thru Chronicles. As a retail pharmacist, I abhor the drive-thru for multiple reasons, but it seems to be abused on a fairly regular basis by the most lazy and entitled among us. Let me give you some recent examples. 2 days ago, one of my technicians went over to run the drive-thru, and when he opened the window, there was an old man sitting there with a bottle of Miralax hanging out his car window. Here, he had been in the store, physically came in the store and bought Miralax a couple days ago, realized he didn't want Miralax. He bought the wrong thing. He wanted Metamucil. Same aisle, similar idea, but quite different. So he wanted to do a return and an exchange at the drive-thru window for store merchandise that he had bought in error. I don't understand why you think that's like an option. Anyway, next example. It was me running the drive-thru. A couple weeks ago, I opened the window. How can I help you? Old woman there goes, I need borderless foam bandages. And I just stopped for a little bit and paused because I didn't understand what part of that was anything to do with me. And then I finally said, okay, well, Band-Aids are available in the first aid aisle in the store. Well, my doctor told me to come to the pharmacy to get them. Yes, but they're not a pharmacy department item. It's not prescription. That's out in the first aid aisle in the store. Well, it says on the sign here, you'll grab store merchandise. I hate that sign so much. But let me explain to you what that sign actually means. That's not for lazy people who want store merchandise and don't think they have to come in and shop for themselves. That's for someone who, let's say, is picking up an antibiotic for their sick child and also needs a bottle of children's Tylenol. We will gladly grab that for you. We won't say a nasty thing about it. We will do that. Happy to help. Okay? But this woman thought that I should go shopping for her. And the problem is, if you worked in a large retail corporation, you realize that if you decide to fight this fight and refuse to do it, she's going to call corporate and you're going to get in trouble and you're going to get told you should have done it. And then most likely she's going to get a gift card to apologize for her pain and suffering, right? So I said, okay, I can go look, but did your doctor tell you the name of the product, like what brand I'm looking for? No, borderless foam bandages. Okay, what size Band-Aid are you looking for? I don't know. Okay, like, it's your boo-boo. It's not my boo-boo. I don't know if you have a paper cut or a hysterectomy, okay? Like, I need some estimation on size here, all right, Karen? But she refused to tell me. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go look. It's gonna be a few minutes. So I went out in the store, first aid aisle. I was surprised. I actually found something that matched that description in our, like, generic store brand. Like, this might not be as hard as I thought. But the problem was there were like 5 or 6 different dimensions. And as we know, Karen couldn't be bothered to tell me what kind of boo-boo she had. So I had no idea what size Band-Aid she needed. I stared at it for a little while and decided, screw it, I'm going to grab the largest ones. You know, and if that's way too big, that's her problem. She's coming inside. Like, this, enough is enough, all right? So I go back to the drive-thru window, and while I was gone, Karen had decided to double down on wasting my time, and she had driven off. I love retail. I love my job. I love working with the public. It's very rewarding.
So I got a complaint at self-checkout today. This woman comes up, she does this number to me. I need you to ring up my basket of produce. Mind you, it's an entire basket. And I was like, oh, I can bring you over to one of the full service registers. I see a few open right now that don't have any lines. No, I'm already over here. I want you to do it. I'm sorry, ma'am, this is self-checkout. I can show you how to do it yourself, or I can bring you over to one of the full service registers. And when she just turns to look at the screen and starts doing it herself, and she's like, ugh. I walk away because I'm like, okay, that's the end of this engagement right here. A while later, I grab her empty basket and she's like, oh, you can do that though. Cool. She goes up to the desk, complains about me, asks for my name. They're like, what did you do to that woman? And I'm like, I didn't ring up her produce. They're like, oh, that's it? That's no big deal. You're fine. Apparently she's going to write a review about you online though. And I'm like, that's fine.
We need to talk about Karens for a second. I was thinking about it the other day because I was walking into the gym and this Karen was talking to this black employee complaining about the elevator speeds. I don't remember if she was complaining about it being too fast or too slow, but it was too something. And she fully expected this employee to somehow change the elevator speeds to make her more comfortable. And then I really reflected on that for a moment because I would never have the audacity to even think that I could get someone to do something like that for me and like change the structure and function of something in a building to make me more comfortable. Then it hit me. That is what it's like to navigate the world as a white person. They are showing us with their actions that they fully expect everything and everyone in the world to accommodate them, to bend and move around to make them more comfortable. I know this isn't like a revolutionary thought, like we all know this, but I really like put myself in their shoes for a moment. And I was like, what would it be like if I were white? Because from the moment they enter this world, especially depending on your class and socioeconomic status, whatever, if you were born into like a middle upper class family and you were a white person, specifically cishet Christian, all that shit, I can kind of sort of understand why you would think that you could complain about the elevator speeds and actually think that they could do it for you. The fact that you actually thought to yourself, this isn't suiting my needs, this is like too slow of an elevator, I'm gonna go and get them to change it for me. That is only a thought that could enter into a white mind, because what? I was taught from a very early age to be flexible and adjustable. I have to dodge everything that life hits me with. But for white people, it's like something gets thrown in their direction and they expect that thing that is thrown to stop and to move around them. And if it doesn't, there's always a manager to go complain to. Isn't that like have y'all really thought about what it's like to be white? Like what it is actually like to be white? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the first time that I actually fully conceptualized this. And maybe I'm just late to the party, but wow. Now I understand the existence of Karens, you know? Like, I'm not justifying it. I think it's bullshit. But now I'm like, damn, y'all are the most privileged of the most privileged.
A lady called customer service on me because I wouldn't let her use my pen. She was making a return and had to sign her receipt, so I put a pen within her reach. But she decided to reach into my personal space and workstation to grab my personal pen. So I said, oh, there's a pen right there for you. And she said, no, I don't want to use that pen. I want to use that pen, and continued to reach into my personal space. So I picked up my pen and held it. She asked me why she couldn't use it, and I said because this is my personal pen. And she said that she refused to sign unless she could use this specific pen. So I said, okay, no problem. Have a nice day. And she continued to hold her hand out for my personal pen. And she looked at the pen that I had set out for her and said, I have no idea where that pen has been. I want to use that one. So I said, well, you actually have no idea where this pen has been either. And if you cared about where pens have been, you would have your own personal pen for situations like these, like I do. She continued to question me about my pen. And granted, in the bigger scheme of things, did I really care if she used the pen? Not really, but you've disrespected me multiple times and you're crossing my boundaries. So no, you can't use this pen. Unfortunately, per my job, I do have to call her and apologize, but at least I get to live with the satisfaction that she will never, ever, ever get to use this pen. And it's a good pen, by the way. It's pink, it's soft, it clicks nice, it has the little stylus thing at the top, and it writes smooth.
Anytime I see a Karen, I always think that the parents of that person failed in life. How do you raise a child that is entitled? You spoil them, no accountability, no responsibility. And so as they grow older, they get spoiled. And then now they are ruining other people's lives because of their behavior. I blame the parents for raising a Karen.
Story time of the Karen that wanted me to get up from my table that I was sitting at a water park to give to her and her family. So I took my daughter to Florida for spring break. We stayed at a resort, and there was 2 levels to the resort. I was at the top level while my daughter was going to the lazy river as well as using the water park. There are several empty tables that are up here. I am at one table that's seated 4. It was just me and my daughter. There are 4 tables on this side. There's 6 tables on this side. I am at a table in the middle where I'm able to see my child. Her and the lifeguard come over and say, excuse me, are you able to get up because my family is going to be sitting here and it's 12 of us and we need our seats. I turn around and I say, what? She said, there's 12 of us and we need to have seats all together. Baby, you think the lifeguard is going to tell me to get up? You think that I'm going to get up out of my seat that I'm sitting at to get up for you? Baby, I don't care that you're standing here with your kid or your whole tribe of 12. Baby, I'm not getting up. Baby, I'm an owner at this facility. You rented to come in. Don't play with me. You think because you see an African American sitting here that you can just decide to move somebody? Baby, hell no. I'm going to sit here just like Rosa Parks did on the back of that bus. She had the audacity to go, so you're not going to move? No, the hell I'm not. Baby, I ordered a pizza. I canceled those reservations because I refuse to let you sit in this seat after you had that behavior. There are plenty of seats that you were able to sit. There are plenty of tables that you and your family of 12 can sit at. It was not super busy. There is a hole downstairs. You think that I'm going to get up? Baby, bye. My money is green just like yours. And you are disrupting my vacation. So she moved right on along. And the lifeguard moved right on along too. What you think? The lifeguard gonna tell me to get up? No. I'm gonna need for y'all Karens to be a lot more mindful of who you think you're talking to. Because if I wasn't on vacation, it would have been a whole nother story. Nobody's gonna sit here and bow down to you. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and think that you're inferior. Baby, you are human just like I am. But you keep thinking that you're entitled, baby, somebody gonna pop you straight in the face.
Karen doesn't want to share this machine.
Hi, this is Starbucks. How can I help you? Yeah, I'm outside your building. Awesome. Yeah, is there a problem? Well, I'm sitting out here at your order pickup 5-minute parking. Okay. Yeah, I put in an order. I'm waiting for you to come and deliver it to me. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't deliver out to your car. It's 5-minute parking, so you can come in and pick it up. Okay, but I don't feel like getting out of my car. If I would have known that, I would have put it in for the mobile pickup through the drive-thru. Yeah, I mean, you can come through the drive-thru and we can give it to you there, but we're not going to come outside and give it to you at your car. Okay, you guys are just really being an inconvenience to me because it literally says order pickup 5-minute parking. Like, I think order pickup means you're going to come to my car for me to pick it up. No, ma'am, that's not how it works. Do you want to just meet me in the drive-thru line? No, not really. I want you to walk it out to me because my arms are tired and I was going to sit here and drink my coffee and scroll through TikTok for a little bit. So having to drive all the way around to the back of your building just, again, is a big inconvenience to me. So if you could just bring it out. No, ma'am, we're not bringing it out to you. Okay, I need to get your manager on the phone. Or if I have to come in there, you guys are going to regret it. Yeah.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.